So you will never guess who I saw the other day, and I didn't see them like in real life. I was going through some old footage that I had taken back at BLFC 2018 this year, and yeah. And if you're wondering why I was going through that footage, I still haven't released an official video about the convention, like, you know, my usual walkthrough. But no, I was actually looking for just like some stock footage that I could use for my credit sequences. But no, you know, he's a great fella. I promise. He's a pretty great fella. He was famous for a little while on YouTube, but perhaps not for the reasons that you might know. Can you guess who it was? Because, you know, I talked about him, like, in videos. You know, I made, like, 3 different videos, covering, like, you know, his saga, as it were, as it unfolded through the World Wide Web. Starts with a K. Okay, in all seriousness, though, trigger warning, I will try to censor the other guy's face, because I understand that people like Majira Strawberry and various others, while they have largely kept their videos up showing him like standing with them, they probably don't want to advertise that they associated with this guy too closely. So, you know, without further ado, I'm just going to cut this video short so that I can roll the footage and make commentary on it. So I'll be right back.
Oh my God! No!
Hey, what's going on? So I hate to interrupt this very close, intimate moment, but this guy right here, to, you know, your right, my left, is... Yep, that's right. That's Kira the Wolf right there. So I just happened to meet him along my way through BLFC, almost said Anthrocon there. But yeah, Kira the Wolf, he wasn't the focus of, you know, my videotape, but at the same time I was just kind of shocked that, you know, I was going through my video footage and his face just popped up on a thumbnail of some video footage I had already taken. And I clicked on it, I looked at it, and this is what popped up. And if you're wondering why I'm not playing the sound, I played some of the sound, but at the same time, like, I'm not playing the whole thing because it would basically indicate who the guy he's hugging is, and I kind of want to... He's not involved in this, alright? He probably didn't know that Kira the Wolf was, you know, as he is, and to try to shield him from basically any pushback from the community that they might have, I'm just going to try to keep him anonymous, although I'm not doing a very good job concealing him because of the limitations of my video editing you know, program. So, you know, my apologies. I'll do the best I can, but yeah, I have to say that in spite of the fact that Kira the Wolf is guilty of some pretty abhorrent things, he's got a damn good fursuit. Of course, in spite of having a good fursuit, I don't think that I'd feel comfortable, you know, having that around anymore. But it's really well done, objectively speaking. Anyway, that's quite enough of this. So I don't bring light to this to just be like, oh my god, look, it's Kira the Wolf, but I do bring light to it that I'm kind of surprised that I forgot about seeing him at BLFC. I mean, it wasn't really like a focus on my mind until the Kira the Wolf scandal came about, and a lot of the footage that I had taken while I was at BLFC, I admittedly wasn't always sober. Just throwing that out there. As in, you know, there would be moments where I would just be walking around kind of, you know, tipsy or drunk. Maybe my mind was numb, but again, like, Kira wasn't the focus of my footage when I was, you know, taking the video camera, walking around the casino and stuff, and con center. Well, and just sort of like enjoying myself there. But it just sort of came to light that one of the pieces of footage that I was reviewing that I clicked on, you know, to find some like decent credit sequence sort of footage, he would just be like right there next to the guy I was talking to. And it's just like, whoa. And then you remember everything that happened, the whole fiasco surrounding him, Snake thing, and the whole beasties and, you know, things like that. Just makes you wonder sometimes. It's like, is Majira Strawberry secretly a mass murderer? By the way, I'm just completely being ridiculous when I say that. I don't think there's any, like, you know, proof or credence to that, but again, if Kira the Wolf was like capable of doing all this stuff, you gotta wonder, like, what were some of the other people are doing in their off hours. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to bring light to that. That was kind of interesting. I found this little piece of footage, and yeah, I guess I could like share a little bit of an update right now while my mind's like sort of gravitating through that area. So in the days that happened since Kira the Wolf like was basically outed as being, a zoophile, pedophile, all the files. Snake Thing has since been arrested. Like, that was like the big piece of information that was shared on Twitter like a couple weeks ago. And it was sort of like, it should have like reminded the public that yes, these were very serious allegations, and if there was substantial enough proof that Snake Thing would be arrested, you have to wonder if like Kira the Wolf's going to wind up being arrested too. And it's weird. I'm ambivalent about the whole situation. Personally, I think that Snake Thing is far worse than Kira the Wolf to a very like large degree. But at the same time, the things that Kira the Wolf did, not only to his dog, but also to like, various woodland creatures and potentially others as well, is just pretty abhorrent and unspeakable. And I'm not one of those people that like jump up and down and say this person must absolutely face justice, but it does, the fact that he lied to the public instead of just at least fessing up, or better yet, staying silent about the whole thing until letting the pieces fall where they do, it just conveys to me a sense that he is a dishonored soul, and that I don't think that he should have his place in the furry fandom, like, as being one of the representatives of the furry fandom. But, Cursory Glance's YouTube channel shows to me that he hasn't really suffered all that much since the scandal broke light. He's still at 108,000 subscribers. And I'm not saying that you should unfollow him out of virtue or anything like that, but personally, I unfollowed him because, I was pretty much convinced of his guilt based on a litany of little pieces of evidence that accumulated to the point where every time that, evidence that incriminated him would become an issue, he would try to consciously remove said evidence or delete it, or, as was the case with his, garage/living space tour, where the walls were uniquely built in such a way that it wasn't going to be something that you saw in, a stock house. And when he noticed that the public was questioning him on that, he just deleted the video without acknowledging the statements. And so that right there, as well as the fact that he lied about getting hacked, they lied about this, he lied about that I just couldn't accept him as being innocent at that point. And I know that a lot of people, well, maybe not a lot of people, but some people commented on my YouTube videos actually criticizing my reporting on all this, saying that, gossip is a sin and that I shouldn't be doing this. It's like, okay, there was one dude that I really disliked his comment for some reason. It's just where he's like, I'm not trying to accuse you of doing this, but then he, not 2 paragraphs down the road, he's like, but you really shouldn't be talking about people's business like this. And it's like, and I don't blame you. You're part of this fucked up millennial generation. And it's like, yes, I am part of this fucked up millennial generation, but that is incredibly condescending of you, sir. And I don't really appreciate that. But anyway, not to gripe to you all about it. It just was very interesting seeing the wide contrast of responses and, comments that I received over the course of 3 or so videos covering the subject. I guess this will make 4. But yeah, the curious case of Kira the Wolf was supposed to be the end-all be-all to the subject, and I think over a course of about 2 hours, it encapsulated everything that you could possibly look into up to that point. So, I don't really mean to make this a recurrent subject, but at the same time, Snake Thing, if you remember correctly, was his friend that he was talking to throughout his times in the Zoophile chat room and various other areas of ill repute. And so Snake Thing getting arrested is pretty significant insofar as that was the person that started all of this. That was the person that technically opened the floodgates to the allegations that would basically incriminate a whole bunch of other people he was associating with, and it's just kind of surprising that he would be the linchpin that came unwound that would incriminate not only Kira the Wolf but various other people, and sort of like, you know, shine the spotlight on everyone that shared any significant time in that group, Kira the Wolf included. But anyway, I think that's quite enough talking on this subject. I think I'm just going to move myself to far better topics of interest and far better places. So, till next video, guys, take care and peace. You all have a better one.